Are we recording already?
No, I have to say the intro thing to kind of, give you a sign that we've started recording.
Well, then hit the intro. I got
I'm
questions.
about to hit the intro right now, cuh. Welcome back, everybody. Today's topic is about hurdles in our career path, and this was definitely Blue's idea. But before we even continue, we got that man Jay up in here,
What's up?
and we got that man Blue up in here.
Where my Tim's at?
Really? Really? Oh,
But anyway, before we
podcast now,
Oh man.
hey, sponsor us, Tim's, please.
right?
But before we begin, Joey would like to say something very important.
Yo, to anybody in the North Georgia, Atlanta area, if you got the Chinese food hookup, I need the Chinese food hookup. Like, there was this place at Georgia Southern called Orient Express, and they did not understand the concept of portion control, and it was wonderful. So much food for like $9. I would eat for 2 days nonstop.
And this
So
man
much
can
food.
eat. And this man can eat.
Oh my gosh! So if anybody out there has to hook up, feel free to leave it in like the comments. Hit me up on Twitter. We'll have the Twitter links at the end of the podcast. Something, because
Throw the flare.
right? Because I mean, Pet Express is cool and everything, but there's nothing like real Chinese food. So that's all I got to say. We can go ahead and get rolling.
Cool. Oh, and by the way, this has nothing to do with a podcast, but apparently, and you reminded me, Joey, ramen bars exist, and I probably brought it up before, like
They
in real
do?
life. Yeah.
I thought it was just like
A myth? Nah, me too, dude.
I thought it was just like an anime thing.
Nah, sons. Okay, so we were in Sandy Springs, Georgia, and right down the street from our location, there's a place called Jinya, and we went there. We made a mistake, so we went there on a Sunday morning, around brunch time, because me and my other friends were just hungry or whatever. Like, yeah, let's just get some ramen for breakfast, pretty much. And so we got there, bruh. Tell me how there was a 45-minute wait before we get a table.
What?
Yeah, man. They popping too, dude.
Why, man?
Yo, I got the website pulled up right now. Y'all trying to go tonight? They closed it. Like,
Sheesh.
we could probably slide through before they get closed. Cause
I know, right?
Just-
But yeah, the worst part was, apparently, judging by the wait time, it was definitely worth the money and the wait to some people. But we were hungry.
Clearly.
We just went to IHOP that day and just called it a day, bro.
I just want to go to the IHOP, man. We can't be sitting here. That's crazy. Clearly, there's some hype going on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yo,
actually,
we seriously,
look,
y'all need to come through like on a weekend or something like that, so we can like just eat and be merry.
Bruh.
Hey, just say the word. I'm down for it. Yo, so that's the only. Okay, so that's probably why it was crazy packed, TJ. There's literally only one in the Southeast.
Yeah, that's definitely why.
Yeah.
I mean, that's after like when I got home. Then I actually Googled it. I was like, oh, okay, so it's like the only one here. Interesting.
Yeah, like literally within 5 states, there's not another one. Holy crap, that's cool though. Yeah, I want to try that place out. We'll have to like call 3 days ahead or something.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yes, we do.
I wouldn't
Jeez.
doubt it.
But anyway, we can get started now. So, Blue, do you got some struggles going on, bro? What's happening at work, man?
Nah, ain't nothing that's going on with work. It's just something that I've with Black before. It was just it's like okay, how do I put it? So I'm just chilling at work, and like I mentioned to you before, like I plan on getting my my A+ certification. Make myself a little more marketable, learn some more stuff in the IT field, and all that good stuff. I had planned to, excuse me, at least take the test at least once by the end of 2016. Clearly, that hasn't happened. So, while I was talking to one of my coworkers, just sitting here and chit chatting, saying how much, we don't hate our jobs, but the shit that goes on at the job makes it very difficult to like our job. So it is literally nothing wrong with the job. It's just I guess more so the fact that we're not actually Comcast. We're a third party that's taking calls for Comcast, and we get like all the like shitty equipment and tools, and like things keep messing up, and then we're trying to have floor support and people that are there to assist us, since we're pretty new, and then they're like barely there and stuff like that. So just a whole bunch of stuff that makes you just like this makes me not want to be here and stuff like that. And I noticed, like, while we were just talking about, like we both have like IT field related degrees and stuff like that, and that we're just ready to get out of here and like do work on bigger things, and how this is just a temporary job. I remembered my goal to finishing my A plus certification by the end of 2016, and how I didn't meet it. And I realized that that was because of the job. I'm not simply like straight up, because it was more so, my lack of discipline to continue to drive to get whatever I needed done, and lack of what's that word, consistency is pretty much one of my New Year's resolutions, is to just be more consistent with everything that I said that I need to do. But I realized that that's that kind of cycle that people tend to get trapped in, where you're working, you get comfortable with where you're working at, and then you kind of just stop trying to progress
Yeah, you
or
just
get
kind
to
of
where
like on autopilot mode at that point. You get like too complacent and too comfortable. It's
Yes,
just a lot easier just to go. Well, I guess quote unquote go with the flow, and just because it's
exactly.
easier, you know.
Yeah, and that like it caught me off guard, and I was glad that I caught it, because I was just like, all right, I need to get back on the ball. But a lot of people don't realize that, which is why they get stuck in the same spot, not really moving anywhere. And it takes a lot of effort. I will admit, it takes a lot of effort to just stop getting out of that comfort zone, and continuing on where you left off. Because I mean, mind you, before I started working at this place, I was moving along just smoothly with taking those classes and watching those damn videos for like freaking like 5 hours out of the day, just straight. And then once I started working, it's like, all right, once I'm done with work, I just want to chill, relax, and do whatever, play my games, go to the gym, and then come home, eat, and then go to sleep and get ready to go back to work. But then, there's definitely that dedication, that consistency that needs to be made, so that you can continue to where you want to be at. Because clearly, this isn't where I want to be at. And I definitely noticed that even more when Black Dynamite, he came over to my crib and helped me fix up my internet, and I'm just sitting here watching everything that he's doing. And then there was some stuff that he did that hold on, oh sorry, there was some stuff that he did that I was just like, all right, well, there's really nothing I can do about that. Like, he checked, that green box that sits in front of the house, the chill spot, when you were kids. He went ahead and opened that up, and then took a look at, like, I guess my cable wires and whatnot. I was like, ain't shit I can do about that. He said that one of the wires was a little old, and then he just quickly like spliced it and then patched that back up. And then he was showing me, the smart box that was downstairs. I wouldn't have known anything about that. And even the cable outlet that's in my sister's room, um, it wasn't completely like hooked up, more or less. Like, he had to take out the plate and then make sure that it was, completely screwed in all the way. So those type of things I just didn't realize. But there were other stuff that he did, like checking the modem, checking the router, trying to see if it was the modem that was the issue, or if it was the router that was the issue, or even realizing that it was actually probably my network card that needed to be reverted, or upgraded, either whichever one. I still haven't done yet. And um and like just those things, and like even the fact that I didn't even think the fact that my sister had a cable outlet in her room. I just assumed, for some stupid reason, I don't even know why, I just assumed that it was just the one in my mother's room and the one downstairs, because those are the only two places that have TVs. And I'm just like, all right, well, those are the only ones that have the cable outlets. And then it like as soon as like he was done doing his work, I'm just sitting here like, man, I know you got experience on me and stuff, but some of the stuff that you were doing, I should have at least known or picked up on like the second I was trying to troubleshoot and see what was going on with my system. But I didn't because for the past 3 months, I've been focused on freaking Xfinity Home and and trying to figure out if you just need a reboot on your system or or if you just need to reset your router or some shit like that. And it was it really caught me off guard, and I definitely did not want to be at that at that type of standstill where I'm not continuously learning like I plan to be. And even with this job opportunity, hopefully, and God willing, they call me back sometime this week and tell me that I got the job. But even with the job, like just going in there, I feel like there's like a whole bunch of stuff that I should know, but I don't because either I haven't been studying as much as I should be, or I don't know, whatever the other case may be. And I just wanted to make that known to the public or to anybody that's watching and listening. Don't get caught up. That's pretty much the gist of it. Do not get caught up. If you have a plan, go for that plan 100% of the time. If there's something that's in the way or something that needs to happen first and that plan is like further down in the line and like you may need to do something else or put it on pause, make sure that it's on pause for the least amount of time as possible and just get back on the ball. Because I mean, now just experiencing this, I now completely understand why people work at this job or work at this or another job or is going to school and never finishing school and stuff like that. It's just because they're getting too complacent with being wherever they're at and just getting too comfortable that they just don't progress to where they or to where they want to be. And it's a scary thought. It's a scary thought. And like just thinking to myself, like if I didn't actually realize this, God forbid if I didn't get this job, there's a good chance that I could have been had a job, but I didn't because I probably would have stopped, applying to jobs because I already have a job, or B, just not make myself more valuable to, the IT world out there because I haven't been, studying like I've been needing to and whatnot. And it was a scary thought that I could like the possibilities of just me still working at this job is very, very possible. As long as, I don't, allow myself to to expand and whatnot. And I just want to bring that up and let the public know. Don't get caught up in what you're doing. If that's supposed to be temporary, keep it as temporary. Keep doing whatever else you need to do so that it can stay as just that, temporary.
Yeah, it's I think what's interesting about that is how it is for a lot of people, where I think I guess with people our age is that to me is that we underestimate how demotivating or one how like tiresome it can be to 9 to 5 job. I mean, of course, if you're like in an office, like if you actually like your job, it could be a different case. But then like I think mentally the idea of I'm gonna push myself and then I'm gonna come home and I'm gonna push myself, like that's not something we're really acclimated to. So I think it's something that you have to work at. But I mean, I went through something similar when I was at my job where, I mean, I'm a writer, so of course I'd want to come home and I want to write, and I'd spend all day at the job I was at writing. And I mean, it was a different kind of writing, but it was writing nonetheless. So I was able to make like excuses for myself. And I think that's where where you start to go wrong, where it's like, well, I've done enough of X today, so I don't have to do it when I get home. I can just relax. Um, but recently, one of the things that's been keeping me motivated, and I mean, truthfully, I'm gonna just be honest, like it's one of those things where like you read it and like y'all know how like you'll be on the internet and like once in a blue moon someone will say something that's actually prolific and it kind of shakes you to your core.
Mhm.
Um, so what the quote was, and I mean I can't attribute it to anybody because it was just like it was just a random place on the internet. Um, but he was talking about his motivation because he was like a small business owner or whatever, and he had just recently got his wife to quit her job and start her own business, and she had just had like her first like positive quarter or something like that. But what he said was the thing that keeps my drive to improve myself is the thought that when I die, the person that I am will meet the person that I could have been, and I'll be responsible for the differences between us. And I was like, oh, what? Yo, what? Like it took me
Huh.
a second to really think about it, but like everything that you could be, you could still be reasonably. I mean, you know, if you want to be a little league star, you're 25, you probably missed that. You missed that boat. But I mean, when it comes to other stuff, like all of the missed opportunities, all kinds. I mean, because you know, life is random. It can be chaotic, and it can be all kinds of things.
Man, it could
But I
change
think
at any point in time, dude.
yeah, like in an instant, your whole life it could get better or worse. You know, you have people that they're driving home from work one day and they pick up a lottery ticket and all of a sudden they're millionaires. Like
Mhm.
just like that, their whole life theoretically changes. I mean, I think there's stats somewhere that show that a lot of people who win the lottery actually don't have a huge change in their lives because they don't understand how to manage that magnitude of money. But you know, another discussion for another time. But then also your life could change for the worse. You could be, I mean, God forbid, of course, but you could be sitting at a stoplight and somebody rear ends you and you end up in an accident and you know, I mean, all kinds of things can happen going from like minor injuries that just kind of wakes you up and makes you more careful to like something more severe to even possibly unfortunately for the people who it happens to, some people lose their lives just in a moment without, I mean, there's like I feel like one of the things that at least in American culture, and it's one of the things that's kind of like a byproduct of TV and also anime. I feel like everybody thinks, at least when we're younger, everybody thinks that when their time comes, there's going to be some kind of fanfare or something noticeable or you know something that's like noteworthy about it. And death is really mundane and really random. Like some people just fall over and stop living. Sometimes their bodies just stop working. You know, sometimes your tire goes out and you go off a bridge and that's it for you. I mean, but I think that, you know, us being young, there's like this sense where it's like, oh, well, you know, I don't want to die, but if I do die, you know, it's going to be driving down a highway doing 80 with my favorite drink in my hand and my tire goes out and over twice and it hits a tanker and it explodes and the tanker slides across the highway and I jump in front of a kid to save him and then I die, but the kid, no, your tire popped and you went off a bridge. You're gone. Like that's it. Um, and and I think that you know that kind of distant level of thinking does lend to you being complacent because it's easy to think that you got tomorrow when you assume that tomorrow's going to come. And of course, you know there are some people who take it like super fatalist, where they're like, well, tomorrow's not promised, so live every day, you know, like it's your last, and then they're like running around naked or whatever trying to sleep at his minute. I mean, like there's definitely a level of moderation that you should aim for when it comes to these kinds of things, in my opinion, anyway. But but yeah, I don't know. Just reading that quote, like who I could be will meet who I became, and it's gonna be I'm gonna be responsible for all the differences between who I could have been and who I actually became. I mean, and that it could be good or bad, honestly. But it's just to me, it's this idea that is it worth sitting around wondering what you could have been, or is it worth just doing it and trying? I mean, because like with me, I've been slowly getting a business off the ground, and of course, it's not easy. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to do, websites and all kinds of stuff. But I mean, at our Bible study group this past Friday, one of the things that I asked everyone to, I guess, pray for me for or help me be mindful of is that I'm personally not a person who I thrive from a challenge, but 9 times out of 10, my challenges come from are out of my hands. So it's like if I don't know. I mean, like the most common example I can personally think of is like at school or work, somebody thinks I can't do something. Well, I'm gonna prove you wrong, and I'm gonna do it better than you've ever seen it done. When it comes to personally challenging myself, I've never really had to do it because I've always been able to achieve like good enough. I mean, for a more, I guess, modern example with like League of Legends, with very little practice, I was able to get from bronze to gold without like any kind of dedicated. I mean, I've seen people. I mean, Blue, you've seen it too. There are people who like hire coaches and they'll like do replays like 2 hours a night and all kinds of stuff. And I mean, for me, it was just like I'll just play more often and I'll get there. I mean, same thing with Rocket League. I'm almost at Rising Star on a lot of stuff just because I've been playing more. So like I personally don't. I'm personally not accustomed to having to motivate myself and challenge myself, which means that when it's actually time to do that, I'm not used to having to do that for me. So, I mean, at least it can lead to me being complacent. You know, something gets hard, and I'm like, well, I'll just do something I'm good at. I'll just play Rocket League. I'll play League. I'll play a game that I haven't beat yet. Whatever. And I'll worry about this tomorrow. But then tomorrow never comes because it's going to be just as hard tomorrow as it was today. Like that's not going to change. So I mean, yeah, I agree with you, and I think a lot of people end up complacent because I mean, just like you, Blue, when I started at my previous job, I had the same revelation where I was like, oh, this is how people get stuck at jobs for like 10, 20, 30 years because the checks start coming in and all of a sudden it's like, I don't have to go traveling, you know, I need to get a new car. I need to get a new house. Now I'm married. Now I got to pay for now I got to pay for the wedding. Now I'm married. Now we have kids and now it's 30 years later. Like, and of course, you know, life doesn't actually accelerate that quick, I hope. But I mean, I don't know. It can be freaky how fast you look up and you realize how much time you've lost just from being okay now that you have a paycheck rolling in. And I mean, I don't know. I don't want to be. I don't want to be on my deathbed. God willing, that be like 80 plus years or however far away it is. But either way, I don't want to be on my deathbed and see that I could have been much more than I became, and have to be saddled with the reality that I never tried hard enough to be better, just because I was okay with getting a paycheck from people who didn't even care about me. Like that's a freaky reality. I mean, with no offense to people, I think that's what a lot of people's cases are, where like, you know, people get laid off randomly. Like you'll read stories. I was at so and so company for 30 years, and then they brought the new IBMs in, and I got laid off. And it's just like, well, they never really cared about you, because I think a hallmark of caring about an employee is at the very least trying to transition them to something else. Like, look, whatever this fictional person's name is, you've been here for 30 years. We don't need somebody to do systems integrations anymore. We have computers for that. But you've been doing it for 30 years, so we'll make you like assistant manager of systems integration and try to get you on a different career path or something, so you're not just out on the street. Something. Like, I don't think that's hard to do, but I'm also not running a company yet. So, you know, it's a crazy, scary world out there, man.
I actually ran into a old friend yesterday. I guess I got a bit of a story to tell everybody. And Brian, this is for you. I know you watching, bro. But so last night we went to Buckhead, and I've known of Buckhead. It's a really cool place. I think I ended up on the other side of it.
Yeah, partying, man.
Well, I was invited to something. I was invited to
going to ramen bars, going to Buckhead. Like,
I'm not balling, trust me, world. But no, I was invited by a friend to go to a bar, and you guys know that bars are really not my thing. But I'm just like I said at the Bible study. I just want to try like new stuff to kind of push me out of my comfort zone. But anyway, actually, I got two examples. I invited my neighbor, who he actually lived in Midtown for a good while, and he was a party animal. He doesn't want to admit that now that he's like civilized and has responsibilities and whatnot. So I took him along. You know, I was like, "Yo, dude, you want to go just hang out and drink or whatever?" And I don't drink, of course. I say that just to say it, but. So yeah, we went last night, Scooped him up at around. I was supposed to be there at 10. Got there like 10:30, and we were just walking around because we actually couldn't find the friend who initially invited me to the place, and so we were just walking around. I was like, you know what? Since she's not here clearly and she's not texting me back, let's just explore the city a little bit. Let's just go around Buckhead. We'll go down that way, not get lost, and come back or something, and see if she responds back. So on our way down to Buckhead, or just in a general area of Buckhead, past like the bars and party spots and whatnot, and restaurants, I actually ran into a friend of mine, and he was from high school, and I don't know how I remembered his name, bro. I'm usually really bad at names, but I can spot you out, and I can spot you out 5 million miles away. I can always get the face right. But anyway, we reconnected, talked about random stuff, and we eventually got on the topic of what I did for a living, and I guess what I do when I get home. So I guess this is the example number one I wanted to talk about. Was honestly, I work like Tony Stark, and if you know anything about Marvel's Iron Man, Tony Stark, if you didn't catch the reference, this guy literally does everything. He's not just a scientist, genius, playboy. He does a whole plethora of things. He engineers, he develops stuff. He's really good in IT. He's good in martial arts. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like a whole, just dumb skill set. Anyway, but no, like, and some people like me and you guys too on the, Jay and Blue and whatnot, and even me, like when I get home from my 9 to 5, the work ain't done. Me personally, I got to get these videos edited and done and recorded and produced. Same thing for the podcast too. So just so I might do a like a day in my life video. But anyway, the point I'm trying to get at is you can have both. You can have it all. You will have to sacrifice, obviously, time, possibly food, and a social life. But if you really want something, and you set your sights on something and you want it to really happen, you're gonna find a way. And that's why I guess that leads me to example number 2. Just to recap on example number 1, you can do it. Like, just don't stop being busy. I know people like to go out and party and relax and vacation, but why don't you try to, well, me, for example, I want to build a life to where either I'm doing the work I want to do so I'll never have to take a vacation, or if I absolutely need to, I can, eventually make enough money to where I can just vacation all the time. I guess that's more of your path, Jay. But, I want to be able to have options. Okay, but anyway, example number 2 I wanted to talk about real quick was I guess I'm technically complacent too at my my corporate America 9 to 5 job, and I was explaining this to my neighbor on the way home. It's a really good spot. The people are nice. The work I do is pretty, it's really awesome. And I explained this to you in particular, Jay, and in one of our podcasts. Like, I don't necessarily care for corporate America, but I am in love with the actual work I do. And I think that's key. I think, like, people walking in and out, yeah, hey, how you doing, blah, blah, blah. And, I just don't, I know it sounds weird, but I just don't care for it at all. But I guess for a while I'm being complacent while I get this, I guess, quote unquote, YouTube celebrityness empire going on. But my main message is, and I reiterate it in a lot of videos, and that's why you start to see like a lot of like life pro tips and coaching and just general things on what I think should be said and heard for the country to learn about, just so I can make you a better you from my experiences. But yeah, until I get that off the ground, I don't even know what to call it, to be completely honest. I guess just, I don't know, inspirational entrepreneur eventually. That's what I'm striving for. I just want to make life easier for everyone. And, I'm not going to stop fighting. I'm going to work that 9 to 5. I'm going to lose out on sleep. I'm going to keep making these videos and pushing out this content. And, you guys are right there with me too. So I immensely appreciate you and, Jay and Blue rather. So I appreciate y'all for real. But I just know as long as we keep pushing, everything is going to just fall into place as long as we keep fighting for it and really want it. And there was another topic. This is like a little side note, but when I was actually in Buckhead talking to this old friend I ran into, and this is how I know it's all going to work. So I brought up and I'm sure you guys have saw it already, but the experiment, 1,000-degree knife experiment videos. That my god, they get stupid views, and it's such a really simple concept.
Simple concept, and then they get views.
Like, dude, if you could heat up a knife and just cut stuff and record it and benefit from it, and like I said, another example is some dude came to the meeting room talking about you know what we should do? We should make a movie about sharks and tornadoes at the same time. Like, that was an idea. It just worked. So I definitely have faith, and our futures are definitely looking bright for whoever, you know, who wants to fight for it. You got to get what you want. You gotta strive for it.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what puts a lot of people off on it. Like, I think that people underestimate how much hard work can go into it. Like, one of my favorite sayings, and again, I don't know who said it because I'm apparently the kind of person who reads quotes, but I don't read who they came from. But one of my favorite sayings is that to the unsuccessful, luck looks a lot like what hard work is, which is like, oh, they just got lucky. You know, they put out a YouTube video and it got 1 million views, but you didn't see them working for 4 months beforehand, day and night, in and out, recording stuff, trying stuff, studying stuff, doing all kinds of things until they finally got it to work properly. I mean,
yeah, a lot of people only see the end product. That's it.
Yeah. Like, even with writing and stuff, I've seen people who are like, well, you know, James Patterson and J.K. Rowling, they just got lucky. Like, yo, do you know how many times they got rejected? Do you know how many times like a average author gets rejected? I've been rejected like 30 times already, and there's like a saying in like most writing communities where it's like, once you get rejected 50 times, you're ready to start really publishing, because you've been shot down so much that it's really just about getting better, and your ego is just completely dissolved. Because people just like, no, we don't. And what's funny is, like, rejection letters, I don't know if it's like an industry standard, but rejection letters they range from incredibly helpful to just no, and you're a bad writer. Fortunately, I've never gotten any of the "you're just a bad writer" stuff. Most of the stuff I've gotten has been helpful. Like, you know, most of the stuff I've been rejected for has actually been, this is a decent story, it could use some editing, but it doesn't quite fit with the theme of our publication. So maybe try again at a different time once, you know, if we switch things up, just keep us in mind. And I was like, cool, you know, what I got from that was, you told me it could be better, so I'll work on making it better, and I'll look for it to have a better home. Cool, whatever. But yeah, like, a lot of people don't see all the work that goes into being successful. Like, I mean, like TJ said, you gotta be like Tony Stark. Like, you gotta be like the Tony Stark, Batman, Superman. Like, you have to be married to your success in terms of dedication to it, if you want to actually achieve it. Because yeah, there are people who stumble into it. I mean, sure, there's the random guy on YouTube who probably did like daily vlogs or whatever, and it just kicked off with all kinds of hype, and he wasn't expecting it. But there are also people who, like, something I've actually been doing recently, and I don't know if you, TJ, or Blue, I don't know if you guys knew this and I just wasn't aware of it, but a huge, like, section of YouTube are couples channels where it's a man. Well, typically, I mean, I've seen mostly men and women, I guess, obviously, but I did see one gay couple as well. But their video was like a prank trend that was going on, and it was like 3 minutes, so it was whatever. I mean, these people have millions of subscribers, and it's just a couple. Like, I mean, they play pranks on each other and stuff, and like, low key, some of those pranks get really.
Like, I know what you're talking about. Nelly showed me some of those.
Yeah, like, either they knew about the prank beforehand and they're really good actors, or they are amazing at making up with each other. Because some of these pranks be like, "Hey y'all, what's up?" Yeah, they be like, "Hey y'all, what's up? It's your boy Jay. So today I'm gonna prank my girlfriend that I cheated on her with my ex-girlfriend, and she left her panties in the house." That's death. Like,
yeah, okay. Let me say, I want to say something about that. Actually, a lot of those are fake.
Yeah, I
And
mean, they have to be, because the way some people react, they be like, "Oh, what is this? Are you serious? Nah, are you kidding me? Have you ever been accused of being cheated on? It is not that calm. It's more like, who the f do you think you are, you mother? Like, like I'm about to go get the gun right now. You got 3 seconds to run. I mean, I think the most believable ones I've seen are like married couples, where it won't be such extreme pranks. So, like, there was one where a wife like bought herself some flowers, and the prank was that her ex-boyfriend actually bought her the flowers. And her husband got mad. I could see him having that kind of reaction where he was just like, I don't care who it's from, it's not from me, throw them away. And he was getting upset because she liked them so much and they weren't from him. That's realistic. Like, he didn't like backhand her, he didn't tackle her, he was just like, just get the damn flowers out the house. I didn't buy them. They're from some guy. He don't matter. You're my wife. We're together. Throw them away. Cool. That's realistic. But some of these other pranks where they'd be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do the used condom prank where I'm gonna be sitting on the bed and there's a condom like under the like what? No, you don't. What?
well, and that to add on to it, if you see a prank every day or every other day on those couples' channels, it's guaranteed that they're fake. Come on now, like you don't prank your girlfriend or boyfriend every single day. Like, you're gonna know what's up and you're gonna start expecting it. So I don't mean, I know it's like the whole Santa Claus thing right now, which I really don't know if he exists or not. But these pranks are fake. Sorry, Joey, you can go on.
No, it's cool. I think the only real one I've seen was I can't even think of the YouTube channel's name, but it was something where like a girlfriend bought her boyfriend a new PS4, and then she acted like she threw his old PS4
in the pool. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but so the only reason I knew it was probably real was because she didn't know that all of his save data was still on the PS4. Like, she thought it was like on like Sony's cloud servers or whatever. So like she acted like she faked an argument or something, and she like threw the PS4 in the pool, and of course he immediately dives in and he's like, "Yo, what the hell are you doing?" That's back to her, and she's like giggling. She's like, "Hi, he doesn't know I bought him a new." And then he like, once he calmed down, he had to explain to her like, "You got rid of all my save data, but it's okay." Because I think he's like a 2K streamer or something, so your save data isn't the most important thing with 2K, as opposed to like RPGs that you sunk 80 hours. But then it's his stuff, whatever. So I feel like that one was real. But some of these other ones, nah, you can't, like, either your relationship is super unstable, if you think that they're always doing stuff, or it's either that they're faking and they're like non-believable, or they're so incredibly traumatic that I don't know why you prank people with it. Because there's like another one that went around for a minute where it was like the dead boyfriend or girlfriend prank, where like they come home and they like bought fake blood and they like splash it all over the walls, and they're sitting there like with a knife or a gun, and the person comes in and like has a legit emotional breakdown, and then the person just starts laughing and like, "Oh, are you really upset?" "Yes, I walked in and there was blood everywhere and I thought you were dead. Of course I'm upset." Like, what? What do you mean?
Yeah, it's a little.
Yeah, like that was one where the guy did like a long con where he's like, I've been acting really depressed for the past 2 weeks. I've been telling my girl, I just don't know if life is worth it, blah, blah, blah. So today, and he's like giggling the whole time. He's like, today she's going to come home and I'm going to be laying on the floor with the knife, surrounded by blood and blah, blah, blah. And of course, she comes in, she brought food for him. She like drops the food. She like slips on the fake blood. She's trying to move him and stuff. Like, "Oh my God, you don't have to do this. We can work it out. We can be together. You can be happy, blah, blah, blah." And then he just starts laughing. I'm like, I couldn't laugh at that. I just feel horrible. Like,
Yeah.
and I just be like, "Hi, I got you." And I'm like, and she didn't immediately just kill you straight up anyway. Like, what?
Yeah, no.
Oh, man. I didn't mean to like divert into like prank video stuff, but my point with that was that even if they are fake, these people are still putting a lot of work into producing this content, and they have millions of subscribers to show for it. And it's not accidental. I mean, they figured out what works, they figured out what people want to watch, and they produce it. They're the entertainers of our generation, even if they are just silly fake prank videos. I mean, it's what gets views, and it works for them. I mean,
that's all that matters.
Yeah, like these people are. I mean, like, and it works because of the places they live. Like, they'll be like, "Oh, I'm gonna like leave a fake condom in the bathroom," but then they cut to their bathroom and it's like all marble and granite, with like overhead showers and stuff. And I'm like, clearly you balling. Like, you better keep doing prank videos. You got to pay bills.
Nice ass house. It makes me sick.
Oh,
One
man.
day.
But yeah. Also, side note, since I've been watching so many prank videos, I actually had an idea. Like, I don't have much of a YouTube channel at all. But one prank video I think would actually be interesting to do is if it was like a home invader prank, where like, I mean, Blue and I, we both have like swords. They're not like battle ready swords, but they're swords. So I was like, yo, what if you got a friend to dress up in like ski mask, all black gear, like a fake gun, and there was some kind of scuffle, like you get some like empty shell casings, and they come in and you got fake blood on the wall and like a fake sword stuck through their chest, and you're just sitting there chilling, and like your girlfriend or whatever comes home and she's like, what the fuck is this? And it's like, break in, take him out, whatever. You just act like everything's normal. I think that'd be a hilarious prank because nobody's dead. Nobody's being traumatized. It's just really confusing. Like, did somebody really break into our house and my boyfriend killed them and is now playing video games like everything's normal? Like, yeah, I mean, you shouldn't try to break in. Whatever. Like, I think that'd actually be funny. But again, I don't have a YouTube channel, and I'm also 98% certain my girlfriend wouldn't work out.
That's what makes it better if she doesn't know about any of this at all.
I don't know. Knowing Jew, she'll probably just like try to whip out a pistol that she secretly had for a while and actually kill the guy.
Either I'm about to say either that or double tap in the head. Like, if you go kill him, we need to make sure he dead. Like, yo, hold on, there's TJ, calm down. Like, we were just kidding around. Do not shoot TJ in the head, please.
It's just a prank, bro. It's just a prank. The camera's right over there.
Yeah, like, oh my god, such and such prank gone wrong, gone viral, gone. I'm just like, come on, guys, these aren't all real. Come on.
Yeah. Oh man. Damn.
But yeah, so in summation, with all that stuff, most prank videos are more than likely fake. Either that, or they found the most gullible women in the world. It's one or the other. In men in the world, because the guys fall for it too all the time. But the people are putting in hard work, and they got the stuff to show for it, and that's what it takes. Like, don't assume that a couple that's like pulling pranks on each other with 1 million subs just like did one prank and 1 million people automatically subscribe to them. That's probably years of work. And that's what it takes. If you want to be successful, I mean, it's good that those people are living out their dreams. I personally feel like solely sustaining yourself on YouTube, either your channel dramatically changes with the times, or eventually, you know, your content's not going to be as relevant anymore, because that's just how YouTube is. But either way, I mean, these people are making it. We're all gonna do great things, like TJ said. I mean, so it just takes hard work. You got to be in love with being. You got to be in love with your work, and you got to be in love with being the best at what you do, because otherwise, it's not worth doing. At least that's my personal motto. Like, I want to be one of the best writers, bar none. Like, I want to be one of those things where it's like, you don't even try to compare me to other people. It's just like, I am one of the people that, you know, you whatever. And that's the goal I'm going for. Will I get there? Time will tell. But I'm not trying to be like, oh, I just want to write my little story. I hope people like it. No. I'm trying to change people's lives. Like, I want people to read my stuff and be like, my life is now fundamentally different because of you. That's what I want. And that's what I'm aiming for 100% of the time. And if you aren't trying to be the best at what you do, then you're hoping for a lucky break, and your hard work probably won't go the way that you want it to. That's just my personal opinion. I'm out. Not really.
And I guess to kind of add on to that, when you do work hard and consistently at it, and you don't catch a lucky break, or, you know, especially if you don't know somebody who knows somebody, it makes you feel that much better and much more appreciative of, you know, the point you got to in your life. Like, for example, if this YouTube thing takes off on, you know, my thing, and it took me like, say, 2 years from now, dude, I'm gonna be like mad happy, because I had to work hard each and every day, and I stayed humble because of it. And you can literally see the numbers just start to slowly rise. You know, you'll be like reminiscence, man, like, oh man, I remember when I had 200 subs like a minute ago, and now we had so and so. So instead of just, you know, it happening overnight, because that's no fun. You know, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, and I think you also don't appreciate your success when it comes overnight. Like,
you don't.
Slowly grinding your way up to it. Like, somebody asked me once, why I'm trying to write short stories if my ultimate goal is like novels and things like that. And I was like, because I don't want to write a novel and hit it big and then not know how to work myself back to that point. Right. I'd rather build myself up to that point. That way, if I do hit it big, I know how I got here, so I can do it again and do it bigger and better. Because I mean, like you guys remember in high school the book series Aragon about the dragon. Yes. What happened to him? He hit it big, and where'd he go? Like,
I hope he's still selling.
Yeah, like that's how one hit wonders happen. You got those people who, they make that one song that everybody loves. Like most, well, I don't want to say most rappers. I don't want to turn this into that kind of conversation. But a lot of people, when it comes to music, hit that one hit wonder status where it's like you just happen to hit at the right moment, and then you don't know how you got there. Like, right, I ain't trying to be that person.
Yeah. That's kind of why they didn't really do it, but let's just say a lot of artists, when they come out with the hotness, I'll even use Linkin Park as an example. First of all, when am I going to get another Mike Shinoda rapping on the album? And I know they've been blowing up, and they're like really successful. They're doing different things, especially with their music styles, and they're going around the globe helping people. But I feel like when you hit it off that big, you kind of just don't produce like you normally would. You know what I'm saying? Like, you kind of just get to a point, it's like, okay, I'm just chilling for the rest of my life. When your fans are literally like, can you please make me an album once every 10 years, please? Like, we need that. Like, I guess in that sense, it kind of, I don't know, especially when you have a fan base like that, at that point, and I guess it's just like me too, but I would want to make stuff for the people because it was the people who got me there in the first place. It's because of them being so supportive and understanding of my work that it just pushes me to keep going. And I don't know, let's not get in that conversation, especially with music, bro. So many good artists I want to continue producing, but they're all like, nah, we chilling.
Shout out to Lupe Fiasco for not.
Yes, super shout out to him, bro.
Fire. Oh my god, TJ, make this ending song for this podcast like the first 10 seconds of Jump, please. It's so hot, I can't stop listening to it. Like,
nah, I don't think I could do that. It might get copyrighted.
Right, you take it out with copyright. Lupe sends ninjas to your house. Like, what you doing, bro? Oh man. But yeah, like, shout out to the artists and the people in general who are willing to continue doing what they do for the fans, like,
for real.
Because it definitely shows in the product. Like,
I can understand if you're getting like just old and then you actually can't do what you used to do. I can understand that, but if you're still living and you're able to, just do it, man. Well, how old is Lupe now? Like 40, 41?
I think he may actually be in his 30s. I don't think he's that old.
Oh, I thought he was that old. Yeah, maybe I'm thinking about Pharrell. I'm probably thinking about Pharrell.
Man,
yeah.
Pharrell's
like 80-something.
Yeah, Pharrell is a vampire. Like, Pharrell is 43.
But he don't be pushing out that music either.
I think that's because Pharrell does a lot of producing, though. He actually directed. Right. He wrote the music. He wrote all the music for it and directed the Hidden Figures movie. So
you're right. Yeah.
So I was just like, okay, I can't be mad at you for not making music because you just did like a whole. So
Yeah, I'll take that back, Pharrell. Don't smite me.
With your immortal powers.
For real.
Oh man. But yeah, I mean,
we could go on and wrap it up if we don't have anything else to say.
Nah, I think I got all my points out.
Cool. Thanks for the topic, Blue. We didn't have a topic originally, so Blue came through on that. So appreciate you for that.
No.
Yeah, man. So, well, we're links in the description box to everything. You can listen to the podcast on iTunes, Google Play. I'm working on something with Stitcher Radio for the, I guess, -2 people who watch it on or listen to it on Stitcher Radio. Like, they don't support all audio types, so you may not see it populate on that. So just to give you a heads up. Usually you can hear the podcast first on the actual YouTube channel. Again, links in the description to all that jazz. If you want to be on the podcast or if you have like a topic suggestion you want us to talk about, do the Twitter hashtag tjrages. Again, everybody's information will be in the description box. I'll link you to Jay's writing stuff and Blue's YouTube channel. And yeah, we are out.
We out.